There's another guy that's a very good pitcher that has a little extra zip on his fastball this year, it seems like. It's
both the softball, baseball pitchers bringing in velocity to their pitching styles. Joe Roth joins us on Running Point. Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
We're good. We're looking outside. The weather's nice. We're gonna get a game in tonight, which is always good.
That's always great.
Joe, I mean, let's talk about this senior season. I mean, you've had your tenure with this baseball team, basketball team. You've been around the athletics now. What was kind of the change in mentality for you going into the senior year, knowing that you're kind of the guy everyone's looking at now, and you're the guy they're looking up to, you're the guy they're looking for leadership-wise?
When coming into the senior season, I wanted to be a leader on the team. I wanted everybody to look up to all the seniors. I didn't want it just to be me. I wanted it to be all the seniors. So I think it changed us as a team to become who we are as the best, to become leaders. So I wanted everybody to look up to us, just focus on us, and always follow after what we do, so that we can have the best season possible and make it far in our tournament.
You talk about these seniors that you have, and you bring up the fact that you want to make sure that people are following all the seniors, not just you. Talk about this dynamic with the seniors that you have and the relationship with the senior group you have, and what a special ride it's been for all of you guys to play together for as long as you have.
With the senior group, we've been playing together since we were young, probably little league all the way up. So I think the dynamic team between all of us has always been there. We always have each other's back. We're always there for each other. And we're always just when something goes wrong, we're always there to pick each other up. So I like how that is with all of us. So that puts a whole team accountable for always picking each other up, always trying to focus on what we need to do to win.
Jake Coral was a pitcher that got the win yesterday, too, and it's his first win of the season. With all the seniors you guys lost last year, Jake Coral comes as kind of an addition because he was injured for a large part of last year. He came in late, and getting him back to start this season, we've already seen through 2 starts what he's capable of. How happy are you to kind of have that senior partner in crime on the mound with you, too? And how much do you guys take serious leading this Falcons pitching squad as the 1-2 combo?
It's great having him back because last year we missed a lot with him because we took our second base out of the infield, putting him on the mound, and then having him back and having our starting second base, having our starting infield behind us is the best thing possible to make us go farther in the games, have us best defensive and best offensive we can have.
Talk about the team goals that you guys have set for yourselves this year, and what kind of things you guys as a group have already decided that you really want to accomplish this season and see yourselves reach.
Our main team goal right now is to beat Canfield. That's our main team goal right now because they're a very good team. You have to play perfect baseball to beat them. And our mentality is to go out there, play a game that is as perfect as we possibly can, and go beat them. And then our other goal is to make it as far as our tournament. We want to go undefeated, but that's what every team wants to do. We just want to make it as far in our tournament as we possibly can and show them that we were doubted to start, but we're going to show you that we are one of the best teams out here.
You got a chance to announce on social and before the start of the season that you will be playing at the next level too. Talk to me about going into this season. Now, is the stress levels kind of down knowing that you got somewhere to commit to next season? And how are you taking this season now as far as the experience overall?
I feel like the stress levels with the recruiting process has went down tremendously. But the stress levels of going out there and competing every day, the nerves before games are still there. It's just like going out there playing a game that you love. And I just want to go out there, compete every day, show everybody what we have to do, and compete with everybody.
Everyone's recruiting process is different, especially since 2020 when COVID made recruiting just kind of crazy. Talk about your recruiting process and what kind of things made the decision easy for you, and what kind of things you did to try to keep that stress as low as possible during the recruiting process.
My recruiting process started probably my start of my junior year. That summer going into my junior year, I was on a plane going down to Fort Myers with my Team Ohio team, and the day before, Akron reached out to me and said that they would liked what they saw, everything like that. And we just kept texting back and forth for about a year and a half because the dead period with the whole COVID situation stopped everything with visiting, coming out for coaches to see you, stuff like that. And later on that year, that's when my recruiting process started to kick off with colleges reaching out more. I was able to go visit colleges with my Pirates team. We were playing at more colleges and going down to tournaments with that Team Ohio team down in Atlanta, Fort Myers, places like that. That's where more colleges got to see me throw, play, and everything. But Akron was always there for me. And it when I went to go visit there, it felt like home. The coaches made it feel like home. So a month after my visit, I knew that's where I wanted to go. It felt like home. Coaches are amazing there. The guys are amazing. So that's when I made my decision. And I loved every second of it. And I can't wish for a better place where I'm going to go.
Reflecting now on your senior year, I know a lot of people are going to ask you to do this, but so are we too. And just looking back at your career with this baseball team and your career inside of Austintown local schools too, what has been some of your favorite memories of playing with this team and just being a part of the Austintown School District?
My favorite memories are last year, probably beating Massillon Jackson in our first playoff game. And then this year, I already have a few memories, was the 15 strikeouts that our team has gotten, and then the home run. That was a big memory for me. But it's not about me. It's about our team. That's where a lot of my memories are. And I love my team to death. So that's the big focus for me.
The best team memories sometimes can be made off the field with team bonding exercises. What are some of your favorite things that this team does and has done to kind of build chemistry and build relationships with the players that you play with?
We sometimes we'll have get-togethers at people's houses, and we'll always mess around with each other, crack jokes, and then other than that, just spending time with each other outside of school, in school sometimes. Just always messing around with each other. We love to get on each other about little things and always love to crack jokes. So I think that makes us better as people and makes us closer because we're always on each other about something.
What's something that a teacher, a coach in your life has said or taught you that has really stuck with you and that you found kind of inspirational?
Ever since my freshman year, Coach Paris has always said, play the game the right way. So that's always what I've tried to do every time I stepped on a baseball field. So that's one thing I'll always listen to and always keep in mind when I'm on the baseball field.
Obviously, you fell in love with this baseball sport, and you've obviously been able to watch so much of it. Who are some players that you've watched while growing up and throughout this journey that you've kind of latched onto as people that you try to not necessarily mold your game after, but just try to emulate and try to say this is the standard?
I love Francisco Lindor. I love his lefty swing. So I bat lefty, and I just try to mimic my swing after him. And then on the mound, it's mostly Corey Kluber. Watching him when he played for the Indians was always a blast. I loved his pitching, and I just loved how he would go out there with a mentality to go strike everybody out, go out there and just show that he's better than everybody when he's on the mound.
I gotta ask then, is the reason the addition of the cutter this year is it because was there relation to Kluber's cutter? Because I know that was something that he utilized a lot too, and I know you talked about adding it into it. What was that kind of like too in the offseason, trying to add that to your repertoire?
The thing was, I mostly added that about 3 weeks ago, so there wasn't really any
Just on the
off-season.
fly.
Yeah, there wasn't really any off-season work on adding new pitches. I just wanted to try something new because I would get my two-seam to run the opposite direction of the cutter. And one of our coaches, Joey Chepke, I asked him, how do you throw one? So I just wanted to try. And he taught me the grip and everything on it. So I went up in one of my bullpens and I said, I'm going to try this, but we're going to see where it goes. And then I threw it for a strike and it moved a lot. I was like, wow, maybe this actually can be something that works. And then I started throwing it more and more in bullpens, and it started to work even more. So that's where I mostly got the idea of getting the cutter.
I guess a follow up to that, since we're talking about learning pitches and working through it, the pitches you have right now, which one was the hardest to like kind of master and learn and get to the spot where it is right now?
I have to say my slider. Me and my dad have been working for years to get that mastered. Well, we were in the front yard about 7 years ago trying it, and then I would have my sister, because she used to catch on the softball team. I had my sister out in the front yard trying to catch it, and that's where I learned to master that pitch and everything, because I started at such a young age, and now being a senior in high school helps out starting at a young age learning a pitch.
Couple more questions before we let you go, Joe. I think one of the biggest things to ask, especially the senior leaders, that a lot of the younger players look up to, and not all of them have, especially, is that composure on the mound when things don't go your way, as a lot of people will say too, is shows a lot more character on a pitcher's side of things than when things are going your way. So when the pitches aren't finding the zone, you may be walking a couple guys, maybe a couple guys get on with hits. What are you doing to kind of compose yourself, not let those runs cause that much damage, and and keep your team still in the game and live to fight another inning?
Yeah. Usually I like to work fast on the mound. So when I don't have stuff working, I'll usually take some time. I'll walk around the mound for a few seconds. Usually I'll just call my catcher out, talk, have him crack a joke to make me smile and everything. And then we'll just jump right back on the mound and get everything trying to go back to normal. So that's the big thing for me. I just like to smile when I'm on the mound. So I'll have my catcher come out and just tell me a joke so I can get a quick laugh and smile when I'm up there again.
Pitchers get that reputation of being quirky and being, the guys that have a lot of superstitions. So I have to ask, do you have any quirks or superstitions that you try to keep on the diamond?
I usually do have a superstition. Like, it's mostly not on the mound. I usually just try and do my business there. But when I step in the box, it's usually always I'll look at my bat, and then left foot goes in, then right foot goes in, and then I fix my pants a little bit. Just always the same thing every time when I'm in there.
I gotta ask too, being a catcher as well, you have that interesting dynamic of learning it from both sides. What's the biggest thing that you've learned or that you attribute catching to helping you with pitching wise too? And do you find that catching has helped you learn both ends too? And do you find it helping you in other areas as well?
I do. So when you're back behind the plate, you get to learn umpire strike zones, where they like to call strikes, where they don't. And watching pitchers as they throw to the plate, you get to see what they're doing and what how their ball moves and everything, so that you can use that when you're on the mound. Different grips that pitchers are using, trying to throw different pitches, learn new pitches even. I tried to learn a sinker last year because we had a kid on the Astros team that had one, and I really liked it because I caught him so many times and was moving. So you get to learn new pitches, new different ways of throwing, and you get to learn strike zones of umpires that you usually have.
Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It was really great to hear from you, and we love covering you. We've covered you for a while now. We can't wait to cover the rest of the season. We look forward to talking to you again real soon, and we wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Joe. Good flashes.